got for me? You got a new product?
We have, Steve. This is a Smart Cells recoil pad.
No. Smart Cells Advanced Recoil Pad. Thank you very much.
Oh, they don't put that in their web address.
Yeah. A while back, a few boys from Smart Cells Advanced Recoil Pad said, do we want to test these recoil pads on a few rifles? And I said, oh, yeah, anything for nothing. We'll do
Why
that.
not? Have a go.
So, yeah, we've just finally, we've had them for a few months, so my apologies there, but we've finally got the boys together. We've got 3 Finlight 308s, 2 good ones, Seiko 75s, and one that's, it's a little bit average. But now Jake's brought his Seiko 85, myself and Lee, he's got one, he calls it Bling. But the bottom line is we've got the 2 Seiko 75s here. We're going to put some factory rounds through them, and we're going to test the different recoil pads. Mine's already been modified, and I've got a Limb Saver Airsoft on mine, and I've been pretty happy with that. The downside to them is they don't take, they're not very good with any abrasive sort of knocks or hits or anything. So these new ones, now they do make 2 different types, one up to a 7mm Rem mag and one for over a 7mm Rem mag. Obviously one is thicker, harder to actually compress. I don't know the ins and outs of the whole thing, but basically this company has made like suspension mats for factories and all that sort of equipment, and now they're branching out into like a recoil pad, and at this stage they're only making them for Tikkas and Seikos, hence why we're testing them on the Seikos. The standard pads are pretty average on most rifles, so anyone will benefit from changing it. The thing that you must be aware of though, you will change your length of pull. So I should have grabbed out the other pad, the standard pad, but the boys are going to fit one of them up now. Which one's you going to do? This is the soft cock version.
Oh yeah, no, it's for soft-shouldered gentlemen.
And that's the one up to 7mm Rem mag.
Yes.
So the boys are going to fit this up now. We're going to test, we'll leave the standard pad on Jake's to start off with, and we'll fire a factory round from each rifle for each one of us.
Yeah.
And then we'll move on, we'll change a few pads around. So I'm not going to bore you with all the details, but basically we're just going to test the rifles with different recoil pads. And I won't call it a review, it's probably our first impressions more than anything, because look, any product, doesn't matter what it is, so you can put it on and think it's fantastic. How long it lasts, here, that's mine.
Yeah, no, I had something. I like to have something firm in my hand, Steve.
Do you? Mm. And lubed?
Well, you know.
Do you want to get that off? You want to pull it off?
No, I don't want to get it off at all.
Do you want to pull that off now?
Yeah, thanks.
All right, so the boys are going to take the recoil pad off and we'll give it a test. So how quick can you do this?
Oh, reasonably quick.
Yeah?
Yeah. Yeah.
I've heard you're pretty quick.
Oh, this
once you're
gentleman's
lubed
always
up.
got a tool in his hand, so he'll be
sprayed on the tool.
So we're at the stage now. We've got this new pad fitted up, and this is the one up to 7mm Rem mag, so it's the lighter of the 2 we're going to test.
It does finish nice and flush with the rifle blade.
It does fit. I didn't think it's sort of got this step down. It doesn't follow the profile. It actually steps down about 1/2 mil. Yeah. I didn't think I would like it, but it actually doesn't look too bad.
Actually, that'd be more than a mil.
You think?
More than a mil, yeah.
But what do you think? What's your impressions of that?
Well, it's not too bad.
I should just hold the rifle up. Let's have a look. Do you mind? Jeez, this is heavy.
Nice
this rifle.
gun, isn't it?
So I don't mind that. I'm going to be the first one to a length of pull I can notice straight up. Your rifle. See what you think.
See the way he handed that to me? Mm. So we'll just pull him up on that.
It was seen that it's safe.
Can you reach your trigger?
Why is it too high?
Do you want a stool?
It's actually not bad. Oh, that's a bit funny. That collapses.
Does it?
On your arm. Mm.
But you're pulling it in like you're pulling
I know,
it in.
yeah, I know, but you know, habit is...
He's pulling it in like he's found his first woman. Oh, are you going to let him have a go?
Yeah, go on.
You're not supposed to do it. You're supposed to fire it.
It does topple on you.
Yeah, but just... What's it like for you, Jake?
Make sure you give it back.
Won't see this rifle again. He wants a real one now. He's got the 75 over the 85.
Just pull it in tight to your shoulder.
Why do you pull it inside? You don't need to.
I'm not looking for
Pulling
lessons.
it in. You need them. I give them for free.
I've noticed.
Righto, so what do we got? I think what we'll do now is we'll grab each one of the rifles, we'll fire a shot and see if you can hit the target first. What's our target? We're going high tech, just a can. So it doesn't really matter about what we hit. Well, it will if I hit it, but if you miss it, that'll matter too.
Oh, well, I'll only leave it for you if I do.
All right. The bottom line is we'll put a round each through 'em. Start off with, well,
We've got some netties here.
What do we got? We got factory Hornady Superformance.
Yeah.
And we never shoot factory ammo, but for this purpose, we'll just keep some consistency. Give it a crack.
Give it a crack.
Righto, let's go. This rifle doesn't work.
You need to get an 85.
Oh, I was waiting for that. This factory stuff's pretty light on. I can see through this one.
Can you?
Yeah. Okay. No, so at this stage we've just tested the 3 rifles. Jake's, the Seiko 85, had the standard pad. Mine had the Limsaver Airsoft, and we've fitted the up to 7mm, the lighter version of the Smart Cells Advanced Recoil pad on Lee's rifle. So now we're going to fit the over 7mm, what's it say? Recommended for up to 7mm Rem mag. That was the other bag. So I've got, oh, here it is, hold on. Recommended for 300 Win Mag or greater is the one we're going to fit on to Jake's. Even though it's a 308, we're just going to test it. You can definitely feel that it is actually a heavier compound.
Oh, much heavier.
So we'll fit this up, and then what we'll do is we'll just compare the 2 rifles, Lee's and Jake's. I'll have to belittle myself a little bit here to use these cheaper versions of rifles. It's very hard for me to do this, but I'll fire 1 round through each. Righto, swap rifles. Right. Swap rifles.
Give it back too. Yep.
Okay. I'm going to give my thoughts straight up. Standard pads, as I always say, well under par. I like the Airsoft that I've got on there, but the downsides, they don't take much to knock them about. Some of the early Limsaver Airsofts actually, if you got any oils or whatever, they actually started to really deteriorate, but I haven't had any issues with the Airsoft. Now this recoil pad, I'll be honest, I'd never even heard of this company before they contacted us and asked us if we'd like to just try them. I must admit, I'll start off with the things I probably thought I wasn't going to like. First of all, it was where it steps down. I thought if it followed the line of the rifle, the buttstock, and kept that completely, I thought it'd be fantastic. But actually when it's on the rifle, I don't mind the look of it. The actual fit, the plastic stocks, the actual surround of them sort of thing, is never exactly the same.
No.
And it's as good as any that I've put on before. Unless you were going to grind a pad to fit, it's pretty good. As far as fitting, the ease of fitting is basically you use the existing screws, put a little bit of WD-40 or some lubricant on through the pad when you fit it. Pretty straightforward. Probably took all of maybe 5-10 minutes to fit it. Does it work? I actually was surprised, and I must admit the right pad for the 308, yeah, it was actually better, I thought, than the Airsoft. I actually thought it's hard to explain, it was like a cushion getting pushed back into your shoulder. Not a lot of shots fired at this stage, but definitely does its job. And really, probably, what were your thoughts, Lee?
Well, I didn't mind either of them. The first one I didn't like too much.
Now hold on, to either of them, you're talking
there's two, the hard one and the soft one.
Okay, so you're not talking about the stand, you're not comparing the Airsoft?
No, not really.
So you
No,
didn't like the Airsoft?
No, it's pretty similar to mine. I didn't think there was that much difference.
What, to a standard pad?
Yeah, I didn't think there was that
A
much.
standard pad, you couldn't notice a difference between that and an Airsoft?
No, I didn't. No, I didn't, to be honest.
So what about the one that we fitted now on yours?
No, I don't like it. The softer of the two, I don't like because it just moves a little bit too much for me.
Like lateral movement, left to right?
Yeah, and look, I think it depends on everyone's way they shoot, but I do tend to pull the rifle in fairly tight, and if I don't pull it in at the right angle, it does sort of cock off a little bit, and you can just see that when you're moving.
What do you mean cock off?
Cock off to one side.
Oh, okay. Just don't want to just check.
Okay.
Right,
so yeah, but I mean, I still, in all fairness, I still like that because it's much more cushion than
but
the original.
The actual effect, the felt recoil.
Yeah, no, it was fine.
I actually thought it was probably the best of the lot.
Yeah,
that one that's
absolutely.
fitted on yours for that calibre.
Yeah.
But what about the heavier one that we fitted to Jake's?
I would definitely put the heavier one, like we had on Jake's, onto this rifle because I
Yeah?
do prefer that. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
absolutely.
you do shoot a softer round than most of us. So, bottom line is, myself and Jake do shoot quite hot rounds. Lee's a little bit softer,
a little bit more conservative.
a bit more conservative, but it just shows you. I actually preferred the lighter weight pad myself. What about yourself, Jake?
I reckon the lighter weight pad in felt recoil
It was soft.
was the best out of
Yeah,
all.
it was. They're definitely straight up. I think they've obviously done a lot of homework on these, and I think there's choice for calibers. I think on my 7mm Rem mag, that heavier one or whatever, would be fantastic. I think the soft one, you'd probably almost bottom out, I reckon, with a heavier, like a 300 Win mag or something like that, if you did put the soft pad on. So I think they've got their selection right, as in their ratings. So would you prefer the lighter pad?
Yeah, well, if Lee doesn't.
He wants
If it doesn't like the lateral movement, I don't mind that.
yeah.
Well, maybe you need to get used to that.
Well,
I'm
come on,
not-
make
I'm
up your
not.
mind. You want to
did.
swap the pads?
Absolutely swap the pads.
All right, so there you have it. I'm actually reasonably impressed. I thought I wouldn't like the look of them. Length of pull is the issue though. How did you find? You're a bit taller,
I've
Jake.
got longer arms, so the length of pull is actually quite good.
Quite
for me.
good. I felt that it was a little bit long for me, but I do like the standard stock length on the Seikos with the standard pad. But see, at this stage, I believe they're only making these for the Seikos and Tikkas, which I've probably already mentioned. I think they will expand their range, and look, obviously this is the first initial tests, so we really haven't been in a position to test the longevity of them. But looking at the pad, I can't see much that'll actually wear on them unless the sort of lateral movement starts to separate them.
Well, yeah. Oh, look, it probably shouldn't. As an elastomer and bonded there, it shouldn't really. But I mean, I didn't think that the length of pull was an issue for me.
No, I've just that's a personal thing.
Yeah, but
Look,
I mean, I've got 3 long things, 2 long arms, and a long memory.
have you?
Yes.
There's nothing else that's long. All right, so we're going to swap these pads over. Look,
Yeah.
obviously the initial thoughts, I think they're pretty good actually.
I don't mind them at all,
I
Steve.
think
Yeah.
now don't quote me, we haven't talked prices or whatever, but I think they're around the $50, maybe a little bit more. Don't quote me on that, but look, they're definitely an option. Pre-fit pad for a Seiko or Tikka. I know the new T3X have changed the pad and I think they've improved them, but the standard T3 and the Seiko Finlight, they're all the same pad, and they've got a lot to be desired. So this is a massive improvement. And I think if you had a stout rifle or something that you want to change the length of pull, you want to reduce the felt recoil, make the rifle more comfortable to shoot, definitely worth a look. So I'm actually pretty impressed.